Hey guys, Joe from survivethewild.us here. I'm just out for a hike. It's late afternoon. Finally in shorts. It's almost summertime. It got up to 90 today. It's supposed to be a cold front moving in, but it is still sticky, humid. The bugs are out. Fun times. Anyways, today I'm out looking for another meal. Today I'm looking for something specific. Looking for Medeola virginiana, otherwise known as Indian cucumber. It has whorls, so it can be at one of two levels. It can either have one level of a whorl of say 5 to 9 leaves, and then it terminates, so there's no other stem that comes off of it or flowers. It's just low level 5 to 9 whorls. Or it can grow up to 2 levels high, so there'll be one level of a whorl and then another one of like say 3 to 5, and then above that there'll be a flower, or 3 little things. I'll find an example for you in a minute. This is actually some of them right here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll move the camera in a minute, but this is a whorl. This one, this one, this one, this one. These are all little guys. It's a little early in the year for these. They're just starting to sprout up. You see them mostly at 1 level, not 2, so they're not going to be huge. And basically you eat the root, the tuber. It's called an Indian cucumber. It grows out, grows out off, so you dig in the ground. And you can't just pull them up. They'll snap. Like, here's one here. If you just try to pull it up, it's just going to break and leave the tuber underneath. Here's a whorl, if you can see it. I'll bring it a little closer. We're going to be looking at them anyways. I'm going to bring the camera closer in a minute, but so hopefully the camera's focusing good. Get a good look at the leaves. You can see that they're not toothed at all. They call them full margin leaf. The whorls are all at one single level, so it looks like all the leaves stem off of the same piece. And then that's it. Nothing else is coming out of the center, so it's not a 2-layer one. The lines are vertical veins. The leaf itself looks much like a common plantain, plantago, I think is what it's called. Very similar leaf. Of course, the plant looks totally different, structure totally different, but the leaf is very much the same. So you can see underneath to get a good look at it. Sometimes they look like bunch berries to me, so you gotta be a little careful. The berries are edible, but let me move the camera around and get a closer look from you guys. Okay, here we have a small but a very fine specimen here, and I'm gonna remove some of his buddies around him so you guys can get a clear view. I'm not trying to pick these ones, so I'm not really worried about it. Let's see. Alright. You guys should be able to see that fairly good. So this is the guy. It's a stem coming out of the ground. Thin stem with one level of whorls here, of a whorl here, and then a second one here. And you'll see these little flowers actually grow underneath and kind of droop down from it. But you should know that one like this, that's a single level whorl back here. If you can see that, the single level whorls are just as good to eat as the 2 levels. So you don't need to differentiate on that, or you don't have to discard just because of that. So I'm just going to use my K-bar here, even though I hate to do it with my blade, and I'm just going to dig up onto the ground here, loosen it up, and get the tuber out, show you what it looks like. Normally it doesn't take this much. I'm just overkilling. I don't want to break it, So pardon me, just give me a second. pull this apart without damaging the, so you can see how the whole plant looks. Alright. So, looks like I did chop it a little bit somehow, but... So this is what it looks like, and normally that's a bit longer. More like a, you know, comes out to taper to a point. So that's the tuber. So this guy is edible. You can eat it raw, just like that, or you can cook them up, and they're crisp and just like a cucumber. Hence the name, Indian cucumber. I just have a little my canteen pouch I strapped to my shorts here. My bag is elsewhere, and I just emptied it out, took my canteen out of it, and I'm just gonna collect up a bunch of tubers here. So let me go get a couple, try to get a couple more here. So let me walk around this little area and just show you how they look on the forest floor. So here's one. Here's another little guy. Walk around like this. There's a couple more. Here's another double one. Nice fine specimen. Now they say you should only gather them while they're when they're in bunches, when they're plentiful. I think that's so that you don't misidentify them with other. These always grow in bunches, so if you always only pick them in bunches, then you know they can't be mistaken for other things. Especially you don't want to just see this one by himself with the single level and not see any of these around at all, because you want to know that this positively is this guy. There's another two lower level ones. There's more in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bunch back there. That's all that right in there. There's another really nice 2-level one. So you can see these things just they grow in moist woods. So like I'm down by where there would be water in the spring, but it's already dried up. And these are little hemlock sprouts. Pretty sure this stuff is a European alder. There's a let's see, not really sure. Here's some ferns. So you can see the kind of woods that it grows in. And this stuff all in there is blueberries, which grows everywhere around here, but it's not. There's no berries on it yet. Soon, a couple more months for that. All right, let me spend some time. Another reason you should gather them when they're in bunches is it's definitely far easier than trying to just sit here and, you know, loosen up around one and dig one up for a little itty bitty root. It's much more efficient if there's like 6 of them, and instead of worrying about the one, you just, I'm using my trekking pole now. I keep one without the flower off of it for digging and poking fires and stuff. It's much more efficient if you just, you know, loosen up the dirt all around, you know, like 6 of them, and then just dig out the roots with your hand, you know. Like, oh, that guy's gone. Anyways, I don't have any here. I'm just explaining to you. Also, I forgot to mention that later in the early fall, like September, October-ish, depends. You'll see like 2 or 3 blueberries on top of these things when it has a double whorl. They're inedible, just so you know. You can't eat them. Very similar to, if you guys know, the plant Clintonia. Same thing. Sprouts up the middle, couple blueberries. Even though some of the plant is edible, the leaves of Clintonia are edible, the young leaves. The berries are inedible. So just because, you know, one part of a plant is edible and they say the plant is edible, doesn't mean that you can just eat everything on it. Blueberries always look tempting to eat. Not all berries are good. Alright, I'm gonna get these cleaned up. Alright guys, got a little spot down by the water. It is buggy. It's still May. It's the end of May in New England. And man, these guys are just swarming, especially down by this water. I can't stay down here very long. These guys are trying to pick me up and fly away. So let me show you what I got here. I won't even call it a bounty. Probably about a handful. And I'll jump over to the camera to show you what I got here. So that's what I got. And I'm just gonna rinse them off in the water, and since it's so buggy and I wanna get away from this water, I'm just gonna eat them raw. So I'm just gonna rinse the dirt off in the water. Yeah, taking a chance because taking a chance to GRD a little bit. I'll shake them off, but there'll be a little bit of water on them. So probably should, you know, if you're gonna rinse them off with river water, you should probably boil them. And then I'm gonna eat them. So I'm always trying to figure out. Get back over to my stoop. So I'm always trying to figure out what kind of time and energy it will take to come out into the woods and secure a meal. I dug these out for about a half an hour. Now it's early in the year for them, so they'll be a little bit bigger later on. I'll see how it goes later on in the year. But don't think that I'm disillusioned and consider this a meal. It's a little snack, maybe, but it's not a meal. So I'm a little disappointed in that I didn't get a meal in, you know, okay, so only a half an hour's time, but it was a little bit of energy expended. I don't know if I'm going to replace the calories that I wasted, you know, walking around trying to find the stuff and, you know, digging it up, that I'm going to put back into me. But anyways, at least I came into the woods and secured a wild food source. It's a learning process. Just using my hands as a basket. Shaking them off. Getting the dirt off. That's one. All right. Oh, they're tasty. Oh, that's worth it. Wow. It tastes like a sweet cucumber. Like a cucumber if you would almost tastes sugared, like a cucumber that instead of salt you sprinkle sugar on it. That's worth it. I'm gonna look forward to getting a big pile of these later on when I try to, you know, get like a feast. I'm always surprised by, everyone thinks food in the wild is gonna taste, you know, like bad or, you know, bland or astringent, or whatever word you want to use for distasteful. But I often find that food in the wild is pretty good. Like, this tastes sweet, so it's like a cucumber, but it's even sweeter. Like reeds and cattails, the reeds, the roots of those taste like almost like they're buttered. Same thing with the cattails roots. They almost taste like they're buttered too. Talking about the more starchy part, not the little nubs like these, but the more starchy part. I always think they taste buttered too. Not all food in the wild is bad. Yeah, you should sell these in the grocery market. Or you can always come out for a hike and dig some up. And it's free. Only costs you your time, your energy, and you'd be enjoying the great outdoors, getting a free meal, and feeling a heck of a lot more secure in yourself and surviving out here. That's for sure. Joe from survivethewild.us. Have a good one.